Introduce yourself and tell us like how you got to know the Guerrero family.
Well, my name is Mitch Ackerman, and I've known Mando Guerrero for close to 30 years. When I first moved out here to Los Angeles, Southern California, from New York, I was always interested in wrestling, and I decided that I wanted to do a wrestling script. So went down to the Olympic Auditorium and talked with the promoters there and asked them if they could introduce me to a few of the wrestlers so that I could do some research. And the first person that they introduced me to was Mando. And we have been friends ever since. We come from two totally different worlds. And I'm, from New York, from Long Island, and he, from El Paso in Mexico. And through Mando, I met the rest of his family, all of his brothers, and have spent time with all of them at one time or another over all of these different 30 some odd years.
So remember all the camera so you probably know what I'm talking about. What about what makes the Guerrero family different than all the other families in the wrestling business, in your opinion?
Well, I think they all have a certain charisma that other families haven't necessarily been able to capture. I mean, there are other famous families. I think, as far as the United States goes, though, they're probably the most famous Hispanic family, and I think a lot of it has to do with the charisma that comes both in the ring and outside. People, they either love to love them or love to hate them.
What was Eddie like as a child? You told me you knew him as a child. What was he like?
Yeah, well, there was one day where Mando and Chavo, when I was doing my research, took me down one day to the Olympic Auditorium during the day to show me how they work out and exercise in the gym. And with them were both Eddie and Chavo Jr. When they were, both very young, and they started them out young, and they were in the ring doing the rolling around and the flying and stuff like that even at a young age like that. And I really didn't see Eddie again until he started to hit it big in this country. I actually was with him a couple of weeks before he passed away when the WWE was at Staples, and I spent a good time in the locker room with him and Mando and Mando's grandson. He was he really was just a great guy, so caring.
What was it like being backstage with him, like before he passed away? Did you notice anything different or anything ordinary?
No, he was in the best of spirits. He looked so healthy and vibrant. Nothing. He's the same joker and yet serious at the same time. The whole family, they're so polite and gracious and respectful of everybody that they meet all the time.
Describe Mando. What's Mondo's personality like, and what do you think his greatest accomplishment has been so far?
Well, Mando, as the whole family, like I said, when I first moved out here, it was a time of the local independent wrestling promotions. The WWE hadn't spread its wings outside of the Northeast yet, and the Guerrero family in Los Angeles was unbelievable. The popularity and watching them at the old Olympic Auditorium was to me, it was fascinating to watch, both in the ring and to watch the fans outside the ring, and their love for them. And Mando with his brothers and with their name, they were superstars in Los Angeles. At the time, another close friend of mine, Roddy Piper, was starting out in Los Angeles at the time also, and he was their arch enemy, and he was a big heel at the time. And Roddy always tells me the story about how he's wrestled every Guerrero except for their mom. He wrestled Gory when he was alive in Los Angeles. They brought Gory in for some shows also, who I've met and was a wonderful man also. He did an interview for me also while I was doing my research on this stuff. He was just tremendous. We did it up in the balconies of the Olympic Auditorium.
Let me ask you this one. Like, I think it's an important question because I know some things did change, but I want to get on camera some other people saying it. Like what? Like when any of these untimely deaths happen, what change did that bring to the pro wrestling industry?
Well, I think it made people much more conscious of what pro wrestling can do to you. I mean, Eddie had a story before he passed, and then the story of him passing and what he had come back and accomplished really drew not just attention from the wrestling world, but from mainstream also, and it became an important story, and it's forced in whatever way the WWE to come up with not just drug policies, but from what I understand, policies of giving guys more time off so that they can rest their bodies, which is something that wasn't happening. And and you don't rest your body, you wind up having to take the pain pills and take things to make you sleep and take the steroids to not make you hurt. And a lot of guys are now being able to take the rest as they bring more people in. They're able to use other people and let some guys get a rest and then bring them back fresh, either as the same character or a new character.
Is there any questions that you feel I'm missing the boat on asking you, or something that you should be asked?
Well, I think from the standpoint of my relationship with being the closest with Mando, it's kind of like I said before. We come from two different worlds. He's a Hispanic Christian, and I'm a New York Jew. You can't get much different. You can't get much different than that. But we have a love for each other that's lasted over 30 years. And he's a professional wrestler, and I was a corporate executive. He's been to my kids' baby naming ceremonies, to my parents' funerals, and I've been to his daughter's wedding. We're both kind of outsiders to each other's world, but we're close enough because of the type of person he is that we've remained friends like this. And I think it's credit to him, and I guess to myself also, that people that come from different worlds like that can be that close. I'm always there for him. If he has some needs about projects that he's doing, he gives me a call, and there's no problems. We get together probably every few months for lunch, just sit and talk and see what's going on with each other's lives. And I'm real proud to call him a friend.
How about this one? Like Chavo's kind of the wild one in the family. Like when they brought you and Mike, I heard a story on the internet a few weeks ago. Or no, it was a Cauliflower Alley Club this year, wasn't it? I think something happened.
I wasn't there this year.
Okay, I heard something happened, so when I was just laughing. I was like, okay. Describe Chavo's personality. Like what makes him, he's a wild character.
He is. I mean, all the guys are, but it seems to come out a lot more with Chavo than with any of the other brothers. But I've seen all of them in their crazy modes. But Chavo, yeah, he's just got this openness, this carefreeness, this rebelness that's inside him. I think he's been through a lot. He's had to deal with promoters that may have screwed him or whatever it is, and he's got a pride that doesn't allow him to just accept the way people might treat him in situations like that, the way promoters might treat him, and all the Guerreros are like that, but Chavo just has this personality that's much more spontaneous and splurges out a lot more than the rest of the guys. His political correctness isn't necessarily always there, but it's fun to watch.